All right. Oh shit. Damn, that was dope. What's going on? I'm back, baby. I'm back. My name is Manager Marco, and I am your host of the Not So Famous podcast, of course, powered by Home Team Music. And it's been a minute since I've been doing the podcast thing, but I'm back. Out of retirement. I've seen a lot of these stupid people going live and stupid shows, so I felt the need that I needed to come back and say a few things. So here I am. I'm back, and I'm so happy to have my guy here on with me tonight. He's a DJ legend, man, in my book. He is the CEO of 418 Music, and he is also the first guy. He is my first mentor in this game, and I can't appreciate him more. Gino, what's good, baby?
My man, what's going on, Marco? I love the beginning.
You like that?
I was fired up, ready to play football or something.
I've seen like a bunch of people use that too. I'm like, oh, I can't. I gotta find something else to be original.
That was only second to when I saw Rocky, and I came out of the movie theater wanting to fist fight.
Nah, get the hell out of here. So thank you for coming on. I know you and me have a history.
Yeah.
And and there's a lot of things swirling around right now that are positive with 418 but I want to start with 418 the label. I know your story obviously,
right.
But how did you get how did you start the 418 label, and what is 418? What does 418 mean? How'd you come up with the name?
Okay, so 418 is actually my birthday, but we're going to rewind and find out how we got there.
There you go.
So I was a DJ since 1985. Had a bunch of stuff. Did a lot of edits, platinum, gold. Played on Q102, toured the world, toured the country. Got out of the business. Came back in 2012, doing an old school party.
Right.
2013, a DJ named DJ Punzo got me my first radio show on Radio Dance in Miami.
Okay.
About 5 minutes before the show's ready to go on, the program director, sends me a text. What's the name of your show? Now, back in the day, it was Gino Caparelli on Q102. I didn't know they had names like, Club Life by Tiesto. And
right.
Punzo and I are like freaking out. It's like comes on at 8:00. It's like 3 minutes to 8. He's like, all right, call it Club something. He goes, what's your birthday? I said, April 18th. He said, call it Club 418. So the podcast or the mix show started Club 418.
Right.
I was working for Tasmania Records for a year, and I got a really good connection with someone at Ingrooves.
Okay.
Which was my distribution. And in 2013, he said, man, you're doing a lot of the work. Why don't you open up your own label? I said, look, if you can make it happen, I'll try it out. He got to the main person. They sent me a 23-page contract, 20 years, distribution, and I took it. And that's, and I said to myself, what do I know about being a label? And
right.
I didn't know, but I trusted that I had a decent ear and I knew what good music was. And I was already doing it for somebody else. So I sort of had my foot in the door, but was a little nervous. So that's really how everything came. So from Club 418, when it was time to come to for a label name,
right,
my ex-wife Angela, who's helped me start the label, said, don't call it 418 Records, call it like 418 Music.
Right.
And that's how it came.
And that's how it came. Now
Yeah.
you had a special woman, a legend in the dance genre, kind of jump in and maybe, I don't know, would you consider her a mentor?
Absolutely, her and Stonebridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I met her in Miami in 2015.
Her being
Crystal Waters.
Crystal Waters, right.
14 #1 dance tracks on Billboard.
Yes.
Stonebridge introduced her to me.
Right.
And we hit it off really, really well. And she asked me how the label was doing. She said she heard a lot of good things about us. I said, well, yeah, we're doing okay, but we're struggling.
Right.
Bigger records. About a month later, she called me on the phone.
Okay.
And she said, I had this record called Synergy from myself and Steady and Hybrid Heights. I heard the record. I was like, oh my God, I got to have it. I said, yeah, I'm ready to go. And then she hits me with, well, here's what you got to do.
Right.
You got to work into the Billboard dance chart. You need 4 remixes. You need to hire Bobby Shaw.
Right.
You need Spotify. Right. You need this. You need about $13,000.
Right. Jeez.
I had about $3,000 in the account.
Right.
Again, ex-wife, Angela was there, said, look, we have some money put away. Let's put it in.
Right.
Did everything Crystal told me. 8 weeks later, we had the #1 dance record dance record on Billboard in the world. Started to make our money back, from losing 50 to 60,000 the first 2 years. People taking advantage, coming back into the business, not knowing it, trusting people. Right. We always talk about how it's a really dirty business, right?
Oh, yeah.
But with Crystal, it not only did I start to make money back, but it sort of made me legit. And people are like, who the hell is 418? They got their indie label #1, and how'd they get Crystal Waters?
Right.
So from that, started to get emails. Oh my God, how'd you get a #1? What can I do? Again, jumped on the phone. It was a phone call with her and Stonebridge.
Right.
And he said, this is what you need to do.
How many #1s you got? Billboard #1s, not no cheesy chart that you see. And I see people posting about these charts that are meaningless. How many Billboard #1s? Tell me how many Billboards. 6
Billboard #1s, 22 top 10s, and 67 total top 40.
Billboard.
Top.
That's the top charts.
Billboard.
That's little hokey pokey chart that's run by a guy in his bedroom.
Right second is iTunes, 13 of them now.
Oh, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How many does your boy got here right in front of you? Huh? What I got?
My boy has 2.
2 on my label. Well, 2 technically on my label, right?
Yeah, 2 on your label, but I mean, you've been a part of a lot of ours.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking about that, well, let's not get into that yet. Let's go into the pandemic, right? The pandemic kind of stuck it to you there for a minute, and I watched people just fall off, the 418 bandwagon. I was with you through the whole damn thing, and you've clawed your way back. You fought your way back, and it's commendable that you're fighting your way back from what happened. And the pandemic almost put you out.
Well, we dominated 2017 to 2019.
Right.
And which was amazing.
Yeah.
But 2019 came, and I had a job down the airport. I also was working 2 jobs. I had 17 people with COVID in the office. I wasn't staying there. They wanted me to go there and stay. I quit a big time job because I knew that the label was thriving.
Yes.
Never knowing that this COVID thing was going to last as long as it did. In the middle of that, I got a divorce. So not only was COVID and quitting the job, and my whole life was turned upside down. Which, listen, at the end of the day, there's it's life, but nobody wants to hear that.
Been there.
So nobody wants to hear that. So you got to keep pushing forward. But yeah, you're gonna have, like the Titanic, people were jumping off.
Right.
They were when the Titanic was good, everybody was dancing, and violins playing, and rich people. And everybody loves the ship, and as soon as things start to go bad,
right,
they
Right.
jump off. So it was a life lesson, though. Yeah, it was a
Right.
struggle, but it was a life lesson.
Right. Speaking of artists, I'm biased to one because she's brought me on as part of the team, and a vital part of the team.
Well,
And
you're already part of the 418 team.
right, but I do the other stuff on the side, and
Yeah.
it's what I'm learning is there's a difference between what you do,
Yeah.
and what what I do with Caputo, which is
Yeah.
you're trying to get that major deal. Like it's
Yeah, no,
it's
we're very DIY independently.
right.
Even the indie thing.
Exactly. So and bringing up Deneen, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
My heart. I love Deneen. That's my
Yeah.
sister. It's a big sister I never had.
Yeah.
Now Deneen, and
Your
I'm going to have her on
your
the
little
show
big
too.
sister.
A little big sister,
Your little
right. Exactly. Now Deneen out of the game for a while. She
Mm-hmm.
decides to come back, right? And she comes back with a couple really, really good songs, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about this last one? This last one, When You Talk, is an absolute monster.
It really is. I didn't believe it in the beginning.
You sure didn't. I
was still stuck on Last Chance. But look, let's go back with her a little bit too.
Yeah, please. Let's give the little scoop about you and Deneen.
Well, besides the fact that was my first marriage.
And your baby mama.
And baby mama.
That's right.
She hits me up about 2 years ago and says, I really want to get back into the game.
Right.
And I really gave her a dose of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And said, look, you got to be on your game.
Right.
You got to be thinner. You got to be better. And she was never heavy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You have to work out. You have to be dedicated. You have to learn social media. You have to learn. And I'll tell you what, a year later, she hit every target.
Of course she did.
Got to give her credit for that.
I give her all the credit in the world. I wish some of the younger artists that I work with have her tenacity, her social media skills. I mean, she has upped her social media 100 times over.
Not only that, her shows are amazing.
And she is one of the top performers I've ever had the privilege of watching. She knows how to work the crowd.
She definitely can mentor younger artists. She always had it. She always had it. And she worked very hard. And, Out My Body came out. We did very well with it. Last Chance was a freestyle monster. But then, Janelle wrote another song.
Shout out to Janelle. She killed this song.
So when I heard When You Talk, I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And I didn't really, we were in the studio and then I heard the la 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 parts. And I was like, okay, there's something here. But honestly, when we turned into a dance record and we started to get some dance radio stations.
Yeah.
And then the freestyle thing just started to take off. And then honestly, again, I'm not a big TikTok person.
No.
But she said, look, I'm going to blow this up on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she learned TikTok. And now everywhere we go, people know the song. They do the shush. They do this. Like we were in Staten Island about a month ago to see a Staten Island crowd sing the song.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Crazy.
So now it's probably one of the top 3 freestyle songs in the last 5 years with this freestyle resurgence.
Last 5 years, last 10 years. I mean,
probably what it was really nothing now.
Right. Freestyle's kind of had I don't know if it's a resurgence with all the shows that are,
4 or 5 years ago. New music. The shows have been around for about 10 years, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago it started with Running, which was a monster.
Oh yeah, Running was really good.
TKA, and then you got the Jenny Renee record. You had some records.
Another great song.
But this one, there's just something special about it, and everybody talks about it. And about 3 weeks ago, I got a text message from the GOAT, who I consider the GOAT of freestyle, George Lamont.
Right.
He said, "Can you call me?" And I said, "Listen, I got 10 minutes left on my mix show. I'll call you in 10 minutes."
Yeah.
I walk in my bedroom, I call him, and he says, "What are you doing with the Deneen record?"
Right.
And I said, "To be honest with you, I got an EDM mix coming out. We're going to use that for the Amsterdam compilation." I said, and then we're probably going to die, because, it's been out so long and done so well. And I said, and just kidding around, I said, and I, end the George Lamont mix.
Right.
And he went, "Well, that's why I'm calling." I said, "What? That's why you're calling?"
Yeah.
He said, yeah, he goes, I'd love to do either an answer back or a remix with me on it. And I tell you what, Marco, it was done in a week. Like
I know. I was
getting
waiting for it right with you. I wanted to hear it so bad.
You know, getting everything together and sending it over. He sent it. I'm sorry, I'm answering text messages. People want to know how to get on. He sent it back to me, and Willie and I went back and forth on what we needed it to sound like. And we sent it back to him. He said, look, I like it, but I want my vocals mixed this way. And that was all in Willie's hands, because I figured when it comes to freestyle, Willie's got the ear.
Yes, he does.
And now it's out, and people are freaking out. It's out for pre-sale today.
Yes.
People are freaking out. We have everything lined up. Thursday afternoon, it'll be on the Power Lunch with George Lamont on Power 78.7. Thursday night, CPR. Thursday night, Tim Schumer. Sunday night, Mangini for Fever. So, you know, it's just got a mind of its own, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
It's an absolute monster of a song.
Freestyle monster, and it's starting to become a very, 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 very good dance track also. Yeah. You know, crazy.
She didn't let us. It needs a ball buster. She was not going to let us. She was not going to let you, because honestly, you're the final call on that stuff. She wasn't going to let you let that song die. She was not going to let you let that song die.
Well, you know, when you get songs from different people,
I get them all the time.
Yeah, so I get a song from Melissa, who's in Canada, and its song's already mixed and it's sung and there's reverb. And when you get a song from Janelle has her way of, she likes to sing into the phone.
Right.
And she likes to do it to another track. So I can't get that feel from Janelle.
Right.
I know I like it. I know I love, you know, what it's doing. I know I love the sound of it. I know I love the hook, but I can't put it together until I'm in the studio with Meg and I'm cutting vocals.
Right.
And I hear it.
Right.
So when I heard it, you know, the La La La's we had singled them. We didn't double them yet. When we doubled them and Meg put the little zhuzh on it, like I like to call it just came to life.
The little Meg zhuzh.
It just literally came to life.
Right.
And, you know, there we are. And again, when it came out, I was still like, okay, let's see how it's perceived. Just growing and growing and growing and growing. And believe me, we do promo, but this record was on its own.
Yeah.
It surpassed anything I thought.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where we're at. You know, and it's taken over the freestyle genre.
Yeah.
Every chart, number one, CPR 14 weeks in a row. I don't think he's had a record past 8 weeks. That was TKA, maybe 9 weeks. Now he's going to get the George Lamont tonight, so I'm sure it's going to continue up until January.
Right.
And God bless her, she deserves it. I mean, she works hard.
Absolutely deserves it.
Absolutely deserves it. I mean, she's a pain in the ass, but
no doubt. I mean,
yeah,
she's a huge pain in the ass for a small woman. She's a huge pain.
Yeah.
But she had her feeling about the song, and she wasn't gonna let it. She wasn't gonna let it die.
And when you say you need to do this and do this and do this, she does it. So you can't ask more from an artist.
Right.
When you give her a goal and she knocks the door down and punches the goal in its face.
Yep.
And that's what you have to do.
Yeah, a lot of young artists can learn from her. They can really learn.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they can.
You know, couple quick shouts. Deneen is actually supporting, because that's what we do in this group, in this family. We support each other. So I love you, and I'm going to have her on, obviously, and that's going to be a fun time with her on there. Who's else on? Andrew, Lauren, my man Caputo is in the building. Mike,
is there a like a Facebook link we can share?
It's just my Facebook. I mean, it's
okay. I see.
I mean, you have to share. If you share my Facebook, this is more going to be a like a podcast,
like a podcast. Okay.
Afterwards, you know. But I like to go live because it gives you the live radio.
No, I get it.
which is my kind of my thing. I like the feel, and you can say anything, and
and listen. Speaking of Caputo, I mean, you got two guys that really can guide you. I wish I had guys like that.
I am in a blessed position because I got two guys that know their shit on both sides of the spectrum.
I'm trying to get my beard like his.
Oh man, me too, man. But I can't do it. I'm trying to get my beard like his, my smile like his. I can't do it. You know, I can't do it. There's only one Mike Caputo.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. You know, guy sold millions of records. You know, with LFO. You can't deny it. And he's developed some of the biggest, one of the biggest producers out there, Louis Bell.
Yeah,
that's Mike. Yeah,
Mike's
I'm gonna say it out loud to everybody. That's Mike Caputo that developed him. Now that dude probably don't fucking go out around Hollywood or wherever he's at and say it, but you know.
Yeah, people are crazy. You know, you never get the credit that you deserve.
No, but one of the things that we're going to try to do, and I'm going to try to do, and some starts with the podcast, is give the people like you and Mike and myself and the people behind the scenes just as much credit and not let the artist overstep, because a lot of times the artist, you know, they just kind of forget who you are. You may not like the front spotlight. I kind of like the spotlight a little bit. I don't. You know, I know you know, and I know you know, and eventually I'm not going to want to be in the spotlight. But you know what? These artists, I've seen too many of them run the opposite way and go with somebody else. Yeah.
Well, listen, you're an artist right now, and nobody signs with a label. Everybody says, "Okay, I'm going to put something out with 418 in January, and then I'm going to put something out with Spin in March, and then I'm going to put something out with Armada in July." Right. So nobody really. It takes a certain artist to really care about what happens at a record, and I understand from their point. They're looking to get the next record out, throwing as much as they can up against the wall, and hoping something sticks. So I get that, but for us as a label and us who have something invested, it's really difficult. So moving in 2024, it may not be 50 releases, it may be 35, 40 releases, but it's going to be more quality people and people that want to put music out and are willing to put up money also. And so everybody has an interest in what's going on, because if not, the label just gets buried and the artist moves on to 3 other songs in a year. And that's nothing against them. There's a lot of amazing artists like, you know, I have Raquel.
Yeah, sure.
Raquel's amazing. I do a lot with Stonebridge.
Yeah.
You know, Morrissey. I love Morrissey. Nappy. We've had Zoo. We had Zoo on the label who was up for a Grammy. You know, I mean, we had so many friggin' people.
Crazy.
We had a lot of really, really good. We had what was the Rick Ross? We had a track out with Rick Ross.
Yeah, he remixed it. Yeah,
about 4 or 5 years ago, that was on 418 that went through on Billboard. So we've had a lot of big artists, and the big artists get it because they've been around, they understand.
Right.
Some of these younger artists, you know, they want to put a song out, they want to master it themselves, they want to do the artwork. They're saying, don't do Spotify, I'll do Spotify. Meanwhile, you know, they're getting 20,000 streams in a day and they're all fake.
And they're all fake.
Label, you know, so it can be difficult, but I think moving forward now, we're in a position where we're totally back to where we were in 2019. And we're going to deal with a certain artist that's in for the long haul. You know? So
what's Deneen, seems like there's a lack of artist development, of course, and that's what I mean. Mike's at the forefront of trying to bring that back, because that's what he does. That's how he makes his bones. So as a guy that's an independent, the number one, right? You were with Billboard named you the number one for a couple years. Right. So you know, you deal with a lot of independent artists, and I know behind the scenes, because we talk. You deal with a lot of nonsense, right? You deal with a ton of nonsense, right?
So who wants to sue you? Who don't like you?
Right. Who? Right. Exactly.
Who loves you in January and sues you in March?
Right. So, what's your advice to these young independent artists that come to you? You know, should they come to you with a budget? And it's not just for you to make money. Of course, you got to make money because you're a business. But do they have to put money behind their stuff, or they just come and thrown against the wall and hoping that you know, their song sticks?
You have two different kind of artists. You have somebody who comes with a finished product with remixes, and then you have an artist who comes with a finished product and needs mixes. And I'm sorry, then you got 3. Then you got an artist that gives you a demo.
Right.
You know, so honestly, if I'd rather somebody come to me with a finished original, and then I can say, look, we can make it pop because we need mixes. We're very big in the dance community.
Right.
So I think it's listen. If you're a young artist, you have to listen to people that have been there before you and know what's going on in the industry. And that's hard. It's hard to get an artist to trust because it's a horrible business. Sometimes there's a lot of snakes, a lot of guys out there that'll bullshit you. But we put our money where our mouth is. Okay, even though we're a little label, we're willing to put up half of what the budget is. We
Sure.
just can't put up the full budget because we release 40 to 50 songs a year.
Right.
And we'll never stay in business that way.
Right.
You know, not when you're getting paid 0.6% on a stream.
Right.
You know, so you need real artists that are coming to the table that want to be a partner with you and really ride this thing out.
Right. And
So
and I
for new
can't.
artists, just listen.
Right. Right. And I can't stress enough. Stop buying fake followers. Stop buying fake streams. Stop buying fake everything. Because one, you're going to lose everything. They're going to pull your Spotify. You have major distribution, right? You have, so you can't mess around with that stuff.
You know, I get an email the 30th of every month, and it throws labels out in the open.
Right.
These labels have fake, you know, and I had one of them about 7 years ago where he had 400,000 in a month and a half, and I defended him,
right,
and got the record taken down so he can upload it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one to put out something very, very nasty on
Right.
social media about me.
Right.
One person ever.
Right.
Where I, you know, thank God I kept my emails and my text messages.
Sure.
Here's a person I helped. They were going to shut the song down and give a strike against him to where he can't put anything up on social media.
Right.
And that the one turns on, you know,
Right.
but because they thought the record should have went to Billboard at the time, and you got a pandemic going on, the Billboard charts closed.
Right.
And you know that's so there's goods for every one bad person. I have 25 great person story.
Right. Right.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
Like the Crystals and
Right.
you know, just amazing. Like I love Julie now. Julie's on the label.
Julie's great. I mean, Kay, dude, I met Kay through you. That's one of my guys,
Kay's
man. Kay's
crazy.
phenomenal. I love Kay. Absolutely love Kay, man.
I mean, I'm blessed on the freestyle side to work with Kay, George
Right.
Lamont, Cynthia, Lizette Melendez,
Yeah.
Carlos Berrios. I mean, you know, they're legends, man.
Right. All legends. So before we get to how you and I got into business and everything, controversy. Why? And I have my take on it, but why so much drama in freestyle? And I'm not a huge freestyle fanatic by any means, but I do notice I'm around Deneen a lot, so I noticed the drama. And like, why? Why the drama?
Well, first I'm going
Your
to tell
thoughts.
you, they're passionate. The fans are passionate.
Okay.
You know, you can say what you want. There may not be 5 million of them, but they think everything is fire. They love every track. They got your back. So I think what happened was there's those little clicks. You know, with social media comes clicks. You know, you have the group that loves, for instance, let's say Joe Blow. They love him, but he's not a top tier freestyle artist.
Right.
So all them people are getting behind him, and they hate all the top tier people.
Right.
You know, and then you have somebody like Cynthia, who's got an amazing name and does everything right. She has her following. And then you have the DJs. You know, a lot of the DJs, let's face it, the DJs really think that, you know, everybody's a star on social media. You know, everybody's a star on social media. So can you give me the record? Well, no, I can't give you the record because you don't have a show. What's that mean? I have a show on Facebook with 3 people. Well, you know, so there's so much hate around that. And then you got the old school artists that hate the new artist.
Right.
You know, and vice versa. So I don't know why it's as bad as it is, or it was as bad as it was, but I really think because they're so passionate. And then you got the legends who were just doing 3 shows a weekend and enjoying life, and everything is beautiful.
Making that check.
Making that check.
Sure.
Shout out to Kay. You
yeah.
know, and I just think it's passion and you have them one or two little jerk offs that get in that clique and they start to talk.
Yeah.
And I think that causes controversy. And now you can put it out on social media. You couldn't do that back in the day.
Right.
You can put out, well, look at this person. He did this to me. And you know what? Even though it's like I say South Philly, I can have a splitter on my finger. By the time it gets to the 10th person, my finger fell off.
Right. Exactly.
And that's sort of like freestyle too. You know, something will start and then somebody will post on social media.
It's a great following. It's a great fan base. They're like you said, they're passionate.
The best.
Passionate. And they come out and they're able to almost pack an arena here and an arena there. Like that says a lot, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
You know, is there any way that genre will ever make it back to the mainstream? Like when I was cruising around South Philly with a honey in the right, listening to Maria. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, some stations, but it's just so hard to get on iHeart.
Yeah.
And something like that.
Yeah.
You know, because what they play iHeart in Denver, they play same song in California, same song in New York. It's you know, it's controlled. You may be able to do it on a mix show, but I think it got very bad in the late 90s and 2000s, and there was a lot of bad songs out with bad vocals. Right. And I think the program directors and people said, "Oh, freestyle's bad music,"
right?
Which wasn't fair, but
right.
Definitely a lot of times, you know, like now, like. You know, we're working the Raquel record. We're working the Deneen record with John Sirachi, who works the Billboard Airplay mix show chart.
Yes. So,
and it's funny, he explained to me, half of the CEOs around the country are guys your age who know you from back in the day. And then the other half are 30-year-old kids who are program directors. Oh, so man. How do you get that? You know, you send them a freestyle record, they don't even know what it is.
No.
They're calling it old school. And then if you send it to somebody that's been around, you know, like a Bartel, he knows that it's freestyle and it's probably not able to get on radio, but he would love to help. So I don't see that happening. It may take a certain record that doesn't sound it, but it's considered it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We tried everything. We tried dance mixes. We try, and we don't care which one gets played.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I would, if I had a gun to my head, I'd say no, it won't reach regular.
Right.
You know,
right.
As a whole thing, like a top 40 record, like a Billboard top 40. I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Right. And I also think I said some people are not putting out the quality records that are, you know, there's a bunch of artists that are putting out great records, let's be honest. But then there's it's like and we'll get to that in a second, but country rap, it's full of, you know, that's why it came up, and it's just full of garbage, and then you have a couple good songs, a couple good artists. I feel like that may be the same case because it's country rap's the same. They're trying to get mainstream, whereas freestyle was mainstream, kind of went away, and now the resurgence. We'll call it a resurgence because now the shows are coming and the fans are coming out and people love it and there's passion, which is great for the genre. You know, I just think everybody should relax and
I'd love to see it. I mean, I love to see it, and I think the way to do it is. Like Raquel's doing it, like Deneen's doing it, where you put out dance mixes and you also put out mixes for the freestyle genre. You follow me, and we're going to do the same thing with Leah Marquis, same thing with Julie. We're going to give dance mixes and then a freestyle mix. So maybe something slips through.
Right.
I'm hoping. It's got a 418 logo on it that slips through, but it's very difficult.
Right. So
I'm sorry, because a lot of the artists are older too. So, you know, when you have a program director who's 28 years old in California and you're giving him a 50-year-old artist,
right,
it may not work. Now, the artist can be amazing, but it may not work to that kid. You know what I mean? Because he's looking at the Dua Lipas and all the females who are DJs and the Joel Corys and the Tiestos. So he's getting 2,000 songs a week. So where does that fit in? You know,
right? It's tough. It's a tough industry.
Yeah.
It's a real tough industry. So let's going back to how you and I met. You know, and I can't thank you enough because we wouldn't have released the song with Trevor from O-Town. I wouldn't be on a road with LFO and Mike.
Jeff
Timmons from 98 Degrees. So, you know, how you and I met is a pretty funny story because I met this country rap kid and we were in shout out to Rob Schwartz.
Yeah.
Humag, right? Hip hop. Why wouldn't I go to the local guy who's known for that stuff?
Yep.
And here comes your your dumb ass walking in there. What's that fucking song?
Well, I heard it, because I had the office and Rob was right next to me.
Rob was right next to you.
And
right.
I heard bottles, models, and shots. And I was like, wow. And my brain automatically goes to dance remixes.
Right.
And I might have bogarted the situation, but
everybody made out.
I was really riding high on that at the time, and I really believed in the record. It was a challenge. It was something different.
It was a challenge.
That was one. There was 3 songs out of 767 that didn't make it. That was one. Now the feedback was, we like the mixes, but we don't understand the rap, and it's the country feel. Now here we are 5 years later, and Taylor Swift comes out with something that's full country, or Kelly Musgrave, or whatever her name is, or they put something out with a dance mix, and all of a sudden it works. We may have been a little too early, premature in that, but I mean, the Bohan remix and some of them remixes are so good on Bottles, Models, and Shots.
Right, and but the song did really well in that genre. I mean, dude, it put us on stage with Lil Nas X. What that song did was jumpstart, 2 people who were just starting out in the business.
Yeah.
And it did very well.
Yeah,
with the help of 418 and the hustle.
It's a team collection. You know that. It takes
absolutely. I mean, we didn't stop, us, we didn't stop, P. Lane, Preston and I didn't stop pushing that song. Man, we tried everything possible. We went outside the box, and that was the first time these country rap people heard dance music like that with their songs. And now they're hitting me up, and so it's like, well, I don't know too much about this yet, but it was, and that opened the door, man. That opened the floodgates to everything else. And then
that's what but listen, you got to grab it. If you don't grab it by the throat, it doesn't happen. I can say to you, Marco, here you go. Marco, here you go. If you're lazy and you're not grabbing it by the throat, nothing's going to happen. So you were crazy. He's crazy. I'm crazy. So you can't go wrong. You follow me? Everybody wanted to just get it to where it wasn't. I think it was a very successful record.
It was a successful record. I don't think anybody would deny. It's still streaming a few thousand a month. Fine. Which is for somebody who kind of dropped out of music. When pandemic hit, it's doing really well.
People can't stream 2,000 a month on a new record.
Right. So what's that tell you? And
longevity. It's got a little bit of. It's got a little, something different to it.
I mean, that's the plaque right back there. That it's 1 million streams. I mean, we're over 1 million now with the total for that song. That's incredible for a kid from
country rap record,
right? Natchez, Mississippi. Who we just hustled our way through, and with your guidance and some unique ways of promoting, we did well. And then I kind of stuck around. I don't even know like, how the heck did I start?
I don't know. I'm calling you. You're around. Where are you working at? We're in the office. Come to the office. And then after you started with the pandemic, you're working from home, so you were able to come in the office. And at the time, there was Natalie, and there was JD, and there was Meg, there was Amber, there was Marissa, there was you. There was a big team. I surrounded myself. Younger, smart. I call them kids because I'm older than everybody, but everybody was willing to learn, whether it was Spotify or it was managing or it was, Amber calling radio people and, Marissa just running the whole office. Jay doing graphic designs and Spotify. I mean, everybody was, Natalie was doing publishing and stuff like that. So everybody served a purpose. It was a good atmosphere. We were successful. We were making money. And that's all you can ask for. In life. It was fun to go to the office.
It was fun, and I just stuck around like a herpes sore on your butt. You know what I mean? Like I attached myself.
Never ever goes away.
No, I never go away. And I learned a lot. And and then I kind of branched out a little more. And of course, and then I never left my roots, and Deneen. I love working with Deneen. I love showing
Trevor,
up. I love
Trevor was
coming.
one of my favorite records, though.
Trevor's great, man. He's very easy to work with. It was a good record.
Yeah,
It
Trevor was
hit number 1 on iTunes dance charts, right?
Yep.
That was my first number 1.
Yep.
And he's awesome. And we're going to do more with Trevor, as you know, you and I and Trevor have been talking. We're going to do more with him. And yeah, that was a great record. And of course, we moved on to Jeff. I brought Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
But it's funny because he approached me at a show in Tucson where we were opening up for Belle Biv DeVoe. He pulled me aside. You're the guy behind, Trevor's song. Yeah.
That's what
we're going to talk. And then he's like, I want like a dance. He said, I just want like a dance. I want like dance remixes. I'm like, boom, light bulb. Got the guy. When I get back, I'll set up a meeting. And there we are. We released this song.
He's another great guy. Great song, great guy.
Right.
I mean, they were easy records to work on. They were professional. They've been there, So when you have that, those are home runs because you have you leading the campaign, me being the label. We have a great artist. They've been in and out. Jeff's wife was intelligent when it came to that.
Yeah.
Jeff, program directors. So they were, to me, they were 2 home runs. They were easy songs to do.
Right.
And it was good to have those artists who know their shit.
Right.
Not up to date with what's happening now, but sort of knew the same program director. And we sat down and had lunch that one day.
Yeah.
Me and him were naming program directors that we knew from back in the day that are still there. I mean, we had
me, you, and Jeff, right? Me, you, Jeff, and Amanda, yeah.
And Jeff's wife, right?
Yeah, Amanda, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you made me start my label. You made me start my label, and you keep pushing me.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to have 55 songs like you.
No.
To me, it's
3 or 4 is good. I don't want to have 55 either.
Right. I see what you deal with artists, and I can't. It's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because of what they're putting out a record, it's doing 1,000 streams, and they want $1,000 check. It's like, like it's not how it works.
Somebody chased me for $17.73. I'll never remember that. I'll never forget that total.
Right. And I don't really want to deal with that shit.
And you know what's funny? My distribution will not really pay us unless you have $250 of money.
Right.
So, but you can't tell an artist that because they think you paid them $17.76. They really made $1,700.
Right.
Even when you send them screenshots and you send them PDFs right from Ingrooves.
Right.
So it's not easy.
No.
But like I said, for every 1 or 2 crazy ones, there's 20 amazing artists that you grow with and you appreciate.
Sure.
And when somebody's coming after you, they got your back.
Absolutely. Denise said she's easy peasy.
Okay.
Somebody's drinking the vino.
She's gotten easier. She's gotten easier.
Has she?
No, really, they're not supposed to be really easy.
Yeah.
But I think I've proven myself. So let me run the ship. Let me do it. You do your part. I do my part. Yeah, promoters out there we're hiring. Let them do their part. And I think she's a perfect example of team. Like she does her part. She knows what she has to do.
Right.
I do my part. You do your part.
Right.
You got Shannon. If you need Shannon, you got everybody.
Yeah. And she takes care of me. I like going on the road with her. I like doing the shows with her. I love it. We got a show December 1st at Adelphia's, all the women.
Yep.
Freestyle there. So that's gonna be awesome.
She's gonna be doing some shows on the road with George Lamont.
She's gonna be going on the road with George Lamont. I can't wait for that. And my problem is here's my deal. I think I'd like to expose Deneen to another audience other than dance and freestyle. What that means, I don't know how to do that, right? I also look at some of these big shows, right? And I'm like, why is that person on there? And we got Deneen, who has some really, really legendary songs from the early days.
You do it, go to her show and realize all the songs she has.
You're like, oh shit, she sings that. Oh shit, and then I didn't even realize you produced half of them. Like I didn't.
People don't realize I'll Be Loving You. I remember you were done in a 3-day span in the same weekend, and she was on both of them. She's underlaying Adam.
Right.
And I'll Be Loving You. So can we try her and Adam first before Raquel and Adam? So it was a great time, and she never got what she deserved.
I agree.
We were on the road with Adam, and he handled everything. He was super talented, super good business wise, but I always thought something was off. I didn't get a lot of the credit I deserve, but I really don't give a fuck, to be honest with you.
I know you.
I know what I did. I was there. I know what I did. I know what I created. I know the breaks I created. I know. So it was more. I'm more about the artist. I want to see the artist flourish. I really, I want to see money come in. I want to be able to see that the label can make it. We can turn stuff over. Accolades, how many number ones we can get. That's what I want to see. I like the artist to get all the shine. I've never been the guy that wants to shine.
Right. Yeah, I think our screen is frozen, but that's okay because we're still recording. So, right. So my thing with Deneen is I just want her to get her just due. You know what I mean? I just want her to get her just due.
And she will, and she is now. She's starting to get it now. I mean,
I want her to get on these big shows and I think, and I want her to get exposed to other fan bases or
I think the next record that we have planned will do that.
I agree.
I don't want to speak about it, but I think that'll do it.
Yes. We can't speak about it yet, but so again, Gino, thank you for coming on.
Anytime, brother.
I can't thank you enough for your mentorship.
Thank you, buddy.
And trusting me. I know I'm becoming a bigger role, and sometimes I get a little aggressive, and I gotta dial it back a little bit.
That's okay.
But I do it because I really want to be successful in this, and I'm, and I got the ear. I got, and I'm writing. I'm learning. I like being in the studio with you guys because I'm starting to learn stuff. You and Mig. When we go in for Deneen's next song, I'll be there.
It's a hard business, buddy. So
it's a tough business, and again, I appreciate you. I appreciate my queen, Deneen, and I'm gonna try to get her on here next week if we can squeeze her in. I know it's gonna be a busy week with the release, so I'm not gonna
be able to get her in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So again, thank you much. And Saturday we got a nice day planned on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're going to talk 25 times until then, but
I'm sure we have no choice then to talk 25.
Thank you for having me on. I love it.
Thank you. It's episode 1. I'm making that comeback, man. My other podcast had 50,000 subscribers, so I'm hoping
much success, buddy. We're going to share it. We're going to help you.
I appreciate it, and you'll be able to find this episode, on all the other streaming platforms. So. Thank you, Sarah. And, we'll talk. We'll definitely talk.
All right, my buddy. See you soon.
All right, man. See you, Gino. James Juice. All right. Shout out to you, buddy. Fuzzy is not driving, Deneen. Fuzzy is not driving. Sorry. She is not driving. Or he's not driving because he almost killed us. And that's another story that we'll talk about when I have you on. I don't want to blow it all in one shot here. So, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. YouTube. My social media at The Manager Marco on Instagram. I know it froze up a little bit here, but the rest of the show will be up on iTunes and Spotify, hopefully at the end of the week. So thank you guys, and I appreciate everybody. Peace.